Hello, fashion lovers. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Florence, the creative director of FLOXIIFY Apparels. So, if you're joining us for the first time, you're very welcome. And if you're a returning subscribers, I love you guys. So, on today's tutorials, I'll be teaching you on how to draft, cut, and sew this cowl neck button-down shirt with a collar. So if this is what you would love to learn, let's get right into the video in details. Go ahead and fold your fabric. So when you're done folding your fabric, you draw out your starting point, and next you will do is to mark out the allowance you need for your button allowance. So I marked out like 3.5 inches, right? Then my top length is about 31 inches. So from that center line right now, you're going to be marking 3.5 inches for your neck width and 1.5 inches for your neck depth. Now I'm going to be using my curve, armhole curve, to curve my neckline. So go ahead and do the same thing like you're seeing me doing right now. So I have my neckline. Next is my shoulder line, right? So now from that shoulder line, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch. Now this 1 inch that I'm coming down, I'm going to be connecting it back to my neck line. It's already giving it the slope, shoulder slope that it deserves. So from that my starting point, I'm going to be marking out my bust measurements. That's my shoulder to my bust. So my shoulder to my bust is about 12 inches, and I've gone ahead to mark it on both sides. Marking on both sides so that I'll be able to get my straight line. Now please don't mind the pressing iron you can see on my fabric or on my table. It's helping me hold down my fabric. So I was done marking my bust point, and I'm going to be marking my shoulder to my waist measurement. So my shoulder to my waist measurement is about 18.5 inches. So I'm still going ahead to mark it on both sides, both ends, so I can have a straight line. So I'm connecting it with my ruler, and this will serve as my waist line. I hope you've gotten that. Next, I'm going to be putting my bust measurement on my bust line. So go ahead and divide your bust measurement by 4. Say your bust measurement is 44, divided by 4, it's 11. You mark down your 11. And before you mark, you remember that this dress is a free dress. So take the measurement of the biggest part of your body. It is not going to be carrying a shapy look. So if the biggest part of your body is your bust, go ahead and mark your bust all the way down to your top length. So from that's my shoulder line, whatever I got from the center line to the shoulder line, right, I'm going to be marking it down to my bust line so that I can have a straight line. So I'm connecting it from that shoulder line down to my bust line with my ruler. As you can see, I have a straight line. So I want to have a curve on that part. I came in by 2 inches. And I remember that I have not added my allowance, so I went ahead to add my allowance of 2.5 inch. Remember that this particular shirt is a free dress. So I'm going to be connecting a curve down to the allowance that I have gotten. So that's how it looks already. So next, I'm going to be extending my neckline to the button area, and I'm going to be cutting out just the way you see me do. So I was done cutting, and I'm going to be cutting the button allowance side. As you can see, I didn't cut out my neckline. As you can see, I didn't cut out my neckline. I'm opening the center front, and I'm going to be folding the button area inside, just the way you see me folding inside. Go ahead and fold yours like that, and that is when I'm going to be cutting out my neckline for my front pattern of this dress. So this is the look it will give to you when you're done cutting. So go ahead and notch the button allowance area so you know where to stop when you're folding the button allowance. Notching your outfit is very good. It indicates where and where to stop or where and where to start. So I'm going ahead now to fold my back pattern. I'm going ahead to draft my back pattern. So it's on fold already, and I drew out my starting point where I want my shoulder to lay. So first off, I'm going to be measuring, right, I'm marking down the wideness I want for my cowl, the length I want my cowl to form. So if you want 14, 10, depending on how much you want the cowl to go deep, right? It depends. If you want 10, if you want 14, if you want 17, depending, right? So on that part where I marked, I'm going to be bringing my shoulder of my front, like the front shoulder, to place on that part where I marked on my back. Then slant it over to the end of the folded back pattern. I hope you got that. That's the shoulder and that's the top length. So I went ahead now to pin it together. When you're done pinning, there's something else you're going to be doing by the end. So let's go ahead first to cut out our pattern. Right, I'm going ahead to cut my pattern. Just follow the way I'm cutting. Remember, your back pattern, you're not supposed to cut the center back. So on this particular top length, what you'll be doing is you will not be cutting the same length with your front pattern, right? So I'm going to be pinning it down to the end so that it does not fray out, it does not move out. So from that tip, your side seam, the end of your side seam, you're going to draw a straight line down to the center back, and you're going to be cutting. So you see that they don't have same length by the back, by the center back, right? It's not something for you to worry about. So as you can see, you are totally done. Remember that you're not opening the center back. That is where the cowl forms, right? So now I'm going to be notching that part where I marked, and that's where my shoulder is going to start from. So I'm going to be placing it in a way so you see exactly what the back would look like when you're done sewing your dress. So these are the shoulders. So the reason for notching is where I'm going to be placing my shoulder, my front shoulder. So now I've opened my back pattern, and I'm going to be bringing my front pattern to my back pattern, right side facing right sides. And remember, you're joining just the shoulder to the back shoulders, right? But first, you go ahead and fold the center back. That's the cowl effect. You're going to be folding it in. So I was done joining my shoulders, and this is what it looks like. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is folding my button allowance, as you can see. But for this particular tutorials, I'm going to be using an hemming gum to do that. I don't want the stitches or this thread to show on this particular dress. But if you don't want to use hemming gum, you can go ahead and stitch down your button allowance just the way you see me. So I was done. I ironed with hemming gum. See the way it looks neat, and I've pinned down. When I'm done, I'm going to be fixing my button. So next up is that you're going to be folding your sleeve opening. So I decided also to fold my sleeve opening with hemming gum. So I ironed, press this particular part. You can still also go ahead and sew on it, right? So I was done. I'm going to be shaping the side seams. So here you can use 1/2 inch because the dress is a free dress, right? I hope you understand this. So I was done sewing, and this is what it looks like. We are almost there. So this is what the side seam looks like, and this is what the sleeve opening also looks like. So straight ahead, we're going to be going ahead now to draft our collar. Now for this particular collar, go ahead and take the measurement of your round neck. So my round neck is about 18. So first now, I'm going to be taking the measurement of the center front, inclusive of the button allowance. So that's what you're seeing me doing. From that button allowance, I'm going to be taking it round to where the front neckline stopped. That's the joining of the shoulder, as you can see. So as you can see right now, the first part of that front is 4.75. I'm going to take that 4.75 now to the beginning part of my next front neckline. I hope you got that. So I'm placing that 4.75, sorry. Now continue the measurement till I get to the end of my center front neckline. Please take note, you're not measuring that of the cow neck where it stops. So all I got was about 9 point some fraction. So that is for only, okay, let's say 10. That is for only the front neckline. And my round neck, my initial round neck is about 18. So the remaining one will go to the back, right? So I was counting how many inches the back would take. So as you can see, I brought my fabric again and I fold it on fold. Note that I'm cutting the collar. It is together, not a two-piece collar, right? It is a together, it's a cut together collar. So as you can see, I'm going to be marking out the 18, then adds like 1 inch allowance. So on fold already, I'm going to be marking out 10 inches. So 10 inches on fold is, while I open it is 20 inches, right? I hope you understand that. So I'm going to be making the wideness, like the width of this collar. I'm creating a box first. So I mark down 5 inches and I'm going to create a box, right? First of all, I'm marking out the 10 inches so I can create a box. Now, these 10 inches I marked is my round neck plus 1 inch allowance. I hope you got that. So I went ahead now to mark out this to form a box, and I'm going to be cutting it out so I can draft my collar properly. So I was done cutting out, and I'm going to go ahead and reconfirm if it's enough for my collar, and it is very okay for my collar. So now I'm going to be marking out the 10 inches, as you can see right here on the down part, and I'm going to draw a straight line. Now for the collar, the margarine collar, like a bishop collar, what I'm going to be doing first is going up by 2 inches. I'm marking it 2 inches. Note that this particular collar comprises of both the center back and the center front. So now this is like the bishop collar. So I'm going ahead now to mark out the measurement that is in the button allowance area. So I marked it out like this. I had about 1.5 or 1.75. So I'm going to be confirming if it's going to accommodate my round neck, and it's very okay, right? So on that, but where that curve is going to be, I'm going to be forming a curve on that button area curve, right? So that's the curve there. So for my collar, for the main collar, I'm going up by 2.5, right? I'm going up by 2.5 inches, as you can see. But for this other part I'm marking right now, I went up more, like 3 inches, and I'm going to be connecting it down to that area, like you see me. So there's a slanty look on that area. If you observe, there's a slanty look because I want that particular place to have a sharp edge. So I'm going to be connecting that end to, not to the button allowance now to the main, as you can see, to the main collar itself. Now this is already forming the collar. So if you want to still have a slanty look on that end, you can still come down by, say, ½ inch, as you can see me do. So I'm going to connect it back again to that pointy, my pointy collar look, the facing, right? This is because I want the back to have that curve, slanty look. Okay, so I'm done, like I'm almost done drafting my collar, right? You see how simple a collar is to draft. So on that particular place, that my back, now that place I'm going to be touching, yes, that place is my back, center back, that's my center back neck. So I'm going to be coming in by 1/2 inch. This is to help it relax very well on my neckline or my neck, right? So I'm going to be connecting it back now to the main collar, the round neck main collar. Yes, we are almost done. So we're done. So if we're doing the two-piece collar, there's something we're going to do on that edge, but we're not doing it. So I went ahead now to cut, and this is it. I went ahead now to cut 2 pieces from the collar, and I'm going to be notching my center back. Just you see me do, notch the center of your collar. So for this particular collar, I'm going to be using hemming gum, right? You can iron one side with your hair stay if you have them. So I placed my collar right side facing right side. I'm going to be sewing on this like this 1/2 inch all the way around my collar with an hemming gum. So let's go and sew right now. So I was done sewing, and this is what it looks like with hemming gum. So this hemming gum helps it to have a sweet and neat look. So when you're done, I went ahead to iron my collar. Now I bring my collar. Now I bring the collar, the end part of the collar, to this center front neck, the ending part. That's the button area. I put them together, and like I'm not pinning both sides together. I'm taking a part of it and pinning on the fabric, like the main dress, the main shirt. I'm going to pin until I get to that place where there is like a joining for the shoulder, right? So I'm going to be pinning, and that's how I'm going to be pinning all the way to the next, like the other part of this shirt. I hope you understand. If you follow very well, you know that it's very easy. So I'm going to be showing same thing on this other part. I open my collar and I fix it just at from the button allowance right down to my shoulder, like to the joining that you have there, until you get to that joining part. Then you stop pinning. Then that is the place you're going to sew. Note that you're sewing a piece of this to the shirt first before you now sew on top of it. So I'm going to be showing what you're going to be sewing. So I've pinned it like this. That area that I pinned, that is the area I'm going to be sewing. So like this, I'm going to be sewing on it. It's open already. I'm going to be sewing on it like that. The same thing I'm going to be doing on the other side. So I was done sewing like this, and I was doing sewing the other side. So what you do is you push the excess inside. As you can see, you push the excess inside, then you fold. So you have a neat look. You fold like this, just the way you see me do. Then go ahead and pin it so that it does not disturb you while you're sewing. So when you're done pinning, you go ahead and sew. We are almost done. I can't wait to show you this dress on the mannequin or on wearing it. So now you go ahead and pin the other side. Then what the back neck will look like, you fold one end together and one end together, bring them back together. Just where you see my hands, like it's easy, then sew on it. Okay, so I was done sewing. I'm going to be ironing straight up. Then the last thing you're going to be doing is folding the dress. So this is finished look of the dress. This is the back of this dress. See how lovely it looks. So if you don't want your curl to go down like that, you can as well reduce the wideness, right? So to my next tutorial, it's bye from me.